Whispers from the Silk Road, stories that calm the mind. Hello guys, today we will know about the city of Samarkand in the 10th century. A place of blue tiles and golden dust. Please settle yourselves into your cushions and find a place of deep rest. This narration is meant to help you relax and fall away into a long and peaceful sleep as we walk through the cooling shadows of the Silk Road. There is a quiet mystery. A small parchment scroll found in a deserted caravanserai, written by a traveler who saw the horizon move. But for now, we only watch the stars rise over the desert and feel the cool evening air. The city is very old, and the mud brick walls are thick and cool against the fading heat of the day. The streets are narrow and winding, paved with flattened stones and packed earth, worn smooth by the passage of camels and the feet of many nations. Every house is small, with a central courtyard that holds the quiet of the sky. The air smells of dried apricots and cedar smoke, and the distant sound of the fountain in the square. It is a rhythmic sound, a slow and steady pulse, that guides the city into its nightly slumber. In the morning, the light arrives slowly through the thin mountain haze. The sun does not rush. It creeps over the turquoise domes of the mosques. The high walls of the citadel stand as silent guardians. The calls begin to rise, low and resonant, calling the people to wakefulness. But today, we move slowly. Our steps are soft on the dust of the bazaar. There is no hurry in our hearts, only the steady breath of the morning. The ordinary people begin their day in the dimness of their small rooms. A family stirs in a house near the iron gate. The room is simple, but it is warm from the charcoal brazier. The walls are hung with wool carpets to keep out the chill of the desert dawn. There is a smell of flatbread baking, and the dry scent of tea leaves steeping in a clay pot. The father rises first. His movements are deliberate and quiet. He wraps a long tunic of coarse linen around his body. It is dyed a pale indigo, faded by the sun and many washings in the canal. He dons a vest of quilted cotton and ties a sash of woven wool around his waist. His leather slippers are soft and worn. He moves to the corner of the room and pours water from a brass ewer into a basin. He watches the water ripple, a small silver movement that has survived the long night. He watches it and breathes softly. The mother wakes the children with a gentle touch on their hair. They sleep on felt rugs for warmth, tucked under heavy sheepskin covers. The children do not shout. They whisper in the gray light. They know the routine of the morning. They know the chores that await them in the stillness. They dress in simple robes and pull on boots of soft goatskin. Breakfast is a quiet affair, served on a low wooden tray that has been polished by use. There is a stack of naan warm and dusted with black seeds, and a bowl of thick yogurt made from sheep's milk. They eat with their hands. The breaking of the bread is a rhythmic and soothing sound. Tir, dip, eat. They drink tea from small ceramic bowls. The liquid is hot and earthy. It settles the stomach for the day ahead. Outside, the street begins to breathe. A water carrier passes by with two heavy leather skins slung across a donkey's back. The donkey's hooves make a dull thud on the earth. Thud, thud, thud. The man does not speak. He only moves with the weight of the water. A camel in a nearby yard groans once, then falls silent. The dust is still low, clinging to the corners of the buildings, hiding the sharp edges of the world. The father sets out for his workshop. He is a papermaker, a trade brought from the east. He walks with his head down, observing the patterns of the shadows. Some are long and thin, others are pools of darkness. He knows every turning of the lane. He knows the smell of the tanner's yard, and the scent of the spice merchant where the sacks of cinnamon are being opened for the day. The paper mill smells of wet bark and hemp. It is a clean, damp scent that fills the lungs. The papermaker is covered in a fine dusting of vegetable fibers. He moves like a shadow in the spray of the water wheel. He dips the wooden frames into the vats, pulling up the thin layers of pulp. The water drips back into the tank. A long, slow, rhythmic splashing, disappearing into the floor. The cool moisture of the mill refreshes the father's face as he passes. In the market stalls, the vendors are setting out their wares. There are heaps of silk, smooth and shimmering. There are sacks of dried mulberries and green raisins. The colors are muted earthy terracottas and deep lapis lazuli. A woman arranges a row of glazed bowls on a wool cloth. Her hands are stained with the earth of the kiln. She moves them with a steady, practiced rhythm. The children of the house have their own tasks. The eldest boy carries a jug to the stone fountain. He waits his turn in the shade of a plane tree. The water flows from a lion's head, splashing into the basin with a hollow sound. He fills his jug, watching the bubbles, circles moving outward, fading into the edge of the clay. The younger daughter stays with her mother. She learns to spin the silk thread. The wooden spindle hums a low, vibrating note. It is a song of patience. The silk pulls through her fingers, soft and fine. She watches the spindle turn round and round, a dizzying, peaceful motion. The thread grows longer, a thin line of gold, connecting the desert to the loom. As the sun rises higher, the city becomes a tapestry of soft noises. The clatter of a wooden cart, the solid wheels grinding against the stones, the horse's hooves making a rhythmic beat, clip-clop, clip-clop. The driver does not use a whip. He speaks to the animal in a low murmur, a language shared between man and beast. The horse understands and leans into the wooden harness. The shops are small and cool, with heavy wooden shutters that are raised to provide shade. Inside, the air is still. A money changer counts his silver dirhams, dropping them into a velvet bag, one by one. Clink, clink, clink. A coppersmith beats a plate into a curve. The sound is a soft, rhythmic ringing, a sigh of metal being shaped by a hammer. He works by the light of the doorway, his eyes steady on the shining surface. At midday, the families gather again for a simple meal, perhaps a bowl of lentil soup and a handful of almonds. The soup has cumin and garlic and dried limes, simmered until it is thick and dark. It is a warm bowl of comfort. The steam rises into the air, blurring the faces of the children. They eat in silence, listening to the wind in the poplar trees. The afternoon brings a dry heat. a stillness that turns the air into a haze. The city reflects the yellow sun. The shadows are sharp and black. A melon seller moves through the lane. His skin is dark and lined like a map. He sells his fruit from a small wagon. The melons are cool and green. They smell of the mountain streams. It is the fruit of the traveler, the sweetness that keeps the thirst at bay. In the madrasa, a group of scholars sits on silk carpets. They hold manuscripts written on thick, cream-colored paper. The teacher speaks in a low, monotonous voice. He recites the movements of the stars, and the scholars write them down. A chorus of soft pens, scratching on the page, rising and falling like the breath. The reed pen moving on the paper is a dry, rhythmic sound. They learn the secrets of the sky in the cool shade. The streets are filled with the labor of the ordinary. A street cleaner sweeps the dust from the mosque steps. He uses a broom of desert grass, back and forth, back and forth. The stone turns from dusty yellow to a pale, cool gray. He wipes his brow with his sleeve and continues his work. His movements are steady. A dance of necessity. A camel driver walks by, a man with the dust of 1,000 miles in his beard. He carries a lead rope of braided hair. His eyes are fixed on the gate of the caravanserai, the high archway that leads to the desert. He knows the secrets of the dunes, the hidden pathways of the wind. He moves quietly, a ghost of the road, near the Zarafshan River. The banks are a place of slow movement. The women are washing the wool for the carpets. Their arms are strong and rhythmic. They rinse the wool in the flowing water. Splash, pull, splash, pull. The sound echoes against the bank. The colorful wool spreads out to dry like a garden on the grass. They work with steady hands, preparing the winter. The forgotten scroll, the one mentioned in the whispers of the market, sits in a wooden chest. It is made of fine paper, thick and smooth. The ink is black and deep. It tells of a city built of glass and a road that never ends. But the people do not read it now. They only know the rhythm of their work and the comfort of their homes. As the afternoon fades into evening, the light turns to amber. The sun sinks behind the iron mountains, casting long, thin shadows across the steppe. The lamplighters begin their rounds. They carry a small flame in a clay cup. They reach up to the oil lamps hanging in the archways, and one by one, a small yellow glow appears. It is a necklace of light, stretching down the silk road. The families return to their courtyards. The papermaker closes his vats. He sweeps the floor of his mill, gathering the tiny scraps of fiber and bark. He puts his frames in their wooden rack, clicking the latch shut. It is a sound of completion. He walks home in the cooling air, his breath making no sound in the dry wind. He is tired, but it is a good tiredness. The mother prepares the final meal of the day, a dish of stewed lamb and a bowl of dried apricots. The scent of the fruit is sweet and heavy, like a blanket of honey over the room. The children help to clear the rugs. They move with soft feet, careful not to disturb the peace of the evening. The charcoal brazier is fed one last time. The embers glow softly, releasing the scent of the cedar. They sit in the courtyard for a time. The father tells a story of the great Khan, a story of a time when the birds spoke the language of men. His voice is a low murmur, a soft vibration that lulls the children. They lean against the mud-brick walls, their eyes growing heavy. The lamplight dances on the blue tiles, creating shapes that shift and change. The city outside is settling. The noise of the bazaar has stopped. The camels are in their yards, chewing on desert scrub. The sound of their chewing is a rhythmic, grinding noise, peaceful and constant. The handlers have gone to their mats, sleeping in the straw near the animals. The warmth of the herd rises through the night air, a natural heat. The bells of the city strike the hour of the first watch, 8 slow, deep tolls that vibrate in the chest. It is the time for the locking of the gates. The quiet, the word comes from the desert, sarsar, the sound of the wind to be still. The guard uses a heavy iron bolt to secure the gate, preserving the safety for the morning. The city grows darker. The shadows lengthen. The children lie down on their rugs. The felt is warm and thick. They pull the sheepskin covers up to their chins. They listen to the sound of the wind in the poplars, a low whistle that sings them to sleep. The father and mother share a final bowl of tea. The taste of the herbs is clean and bitter. They speak in whispers about the price of silk and the strength of the walls. The forgotten scroll in the chest remains silent. Its words are still. Its secrets are a distant cloud, not yet reached. The city is safe in the arms of the night. The haze has returned, thicker now, wrapping the houses in a white cocoon. The river flows on, dark and silent, carrying the dreams of the oasis out to the desert. We move further into the heart of the night. The earth is cool and dry. No one walks here now. Only the night watchman with his staff and his lantern. He walks with a slow, heavy gait. His shadow is long on the wall. He does not speak. He only breathes the night air. His presence is a reassurance to those who sleep. All is secure. In the small houses, the breathing of the sleepers is the only sound, a chorus of soft, steady inhalations and long, slow exhalations. The heartbeats of the people are slow, synchronized with the pulse of the stars. There is no worry here, only the deep, restorative rest of the weary. The work of the day is done. The work of tomorrow is a long way off. The mud walls of the houses creak occasionally. A settling of earth and wood. It is a natural sound, like a giant sighing in its sleep. The small mice move quietly in the grain jars, seeking scraps of wheat. Their feet make a tiny scratching, a sound so small it is almost silence. The city belongs to the shadows now, and the shadows are gentle. The great stone walls of the citadel stand cold and firm. The hawks are perched on the battlements, their wings tucked tight. They do not move. They are like stones in their stillness. The sentries on the walls stand with their spears, their eyes fixed on the horizon. They see nothing but the gray haze and the flickering light of the distant campfire. High above the clouds, the stars are bright and constant. They have watched over the Silk Road for 1,000 years. They do not change. They offer a cold, beautiful light that does not reach the narrow lanes, but it is there, a canopy of eternity over the temporary lives of men. The moon is a silver coin, spent on the darkness. As the hours of the night pass, the silence becomes deeper. It is a heavy silence, like a thick felt blanket. It presses against the doors. It fills the courtyards. It slows the blood. The fire in the brazier is now only a memory of heat. A faint scent of smoke and ash. The air in the room is cool, perfect for a deep and dreamless sleep. The forgotten scroll, resting in the dark, holds its breath. It knows of the sand that will cover the towers. It knows of the travelers who will never return. It knows how the world will forget the blue tiles. But that is another time, a time that has not yet been born tonight. There is only the cool, the dark, and the peace. The people of Samarkand sleep on, the paper maker, the weaver, the scholar, the driver. They are all equal in the night. Their titles and their trades are laid aside. They are only souls in repose, resting their tired limbs, healing their spirits for the coming of the light. The city is a cradle rocking slowly in the hands of time. The haze begins to drift through the wooden screens. A thin, ethereal finger of white. It touches the felt rugs. It curls around the clay jars. It is the breath of the mountains, visiting the people in their dreams. It brings the scent of the snow and the memory of the high passes. It is a cooling touch, a soothing presence in the dark. Somewhere in the distance, a lone jackal calls, a long, low, melancholy sound. It is a call to the night, a recognition of the stillness. The sound fades into the dunes, leaving the silence even deeper than before. The world is a quiet place, a place of soft edges and blurred lines. There is nothing to fear, only the night. The city bells strike the hour of midnight. The sound is muted by the haze, a dull, heavy thud of metal. 12 times. It is the deepest part of the night, the time when the world is closest to the desert, the time when the dreams are most vivid. The people turn in their sleep, a rustle of wool, a sigh, and then stillness. We walk back toward the river, our footsteps making no sound on the packed earth. The water is low now, lapping against the clay banks. Splash, suck, splash. It is the sound of the earth breathing, the rhythm of the tides, the movement of the moon. Everything is connected. Everything is at rest. The forgotten scroll remains, its parchment cold to the touch. It is a silent witness to a life lived in the shadows of history. A life of simple things, of bread and silk and paper. A life that is long gone, but remains here, in the quiet of our minds, as we drift further and further away, into the mists of the past. The light will come again, but not for many hours. There is no need to think of the morning. There is no need to think of the work, the chores, the heat. There is only the now, the soft, dark, peaceful now. The city of Samarkand is a painting in grays and blues, a masterpiece of silence, a sanctuary of sleep. The shadows are your friends. They wrap around you like a heavy cloak. They protect you from the world. They guide you toward the center of your own rest. The air is still. The room is quiet. The world is far away. You are safe. You are warm. You are drifting down into the soft velvet night. The tile of the dome does not move. It stays still, resting in the dark. Its secrets are safe, for the change is not tonight. Tonight is for the ordinary. Tonight is for the small. Tonight is for the peace of the soul. The heartbeat of the city is slow, so slow. Almost a stop, just a gentle rhythmic thud, thud, thud. The haze is the last thing we see. A wall of white that hides the houses, the streets, the river. It is a curtain falling on the day, a final gentle closing of the eyes. The world is gone. There is only the breath, the slow, steady breath of a city and a person at peace. As the stars turn overhead, the sound of the camel bell becomes a distant pulse, a faint reminder of the road. But the road does not matter here, in the long, slow shadows of the 10th century. There is only the quiet, the deep, the endless, quiet sleep now, sleep, sleep, sleep. The earth is cool. The haze is soft. The lamp is low. The night is long. And you are resting so deeply, so peacefully. In the heart of the oasis, where the forgotten scroll waits, and the world is still a dream. A distant, forgotten dream. In the quiet of the night, the mud brick walls are strong. They have stood for decades. They will stand for many more. They hold the coolness of the night in their grain. A faint, lingering chill that radiates into the rooms. The families are tucked away, like grains in a jar, safe from the dust, safe from the light, safe in the dark. The river Zarafshan is a road of silver, reflecting the stars in its ripples. The light is distorted by the water, long, shimmering ribbons of white and gold. They dance a slow, graceful dance, never stopping, never rushing, just moving with the weight of the stream, toward the sands, toward the end of all things. In the quietest corner of the city, a small cat moves across a courtyard. Its paws make no sound on the felt. It is a shadow within a shadow. It stops to look at the moon, its eyes glowing like two small lamps. Then it moves on, disappearing into the shadows of the eaves, a silent guardian of the night. The forgotten scroll, in its chest, is a bridge to another time. But we do not need to cross it tonight. We stay on this side, in the comfort of the familiar, in the rhythm of the breath, in the softness of the rug. The city is a lullaby, a song of stone and earth, sung by the wind for the weary. Sleep is a deep well, and you are falling slowly into it. The water is warm and clear. You sink through the layers of the day, leaving the noise behind, leaving the light behind, reaching the floor of the well, where it is dark and still and perfect. There is no movement here, only the being, the rest. The mosque bells are silent now. The guard has finished his round. The city is held in a state of grace, a moment of pure, undisturbed existence. The history of the ordinary is the most beautiful history of all. the history of the quiet, the history of the sleep, the history of the night. We leave the city now, moving back through the haze, back through the centuries, leaving the papermaker and the weaver to their dreams, leaving the forgotten scroll to its chest, leaving the 10th century to the shadows. The narration is fading. The voice is becoming a whisper, a breath, a nothingness. The air is cool. The rug is soft. The heart is slow. The mind is still. The story is done, but the peace remains. It stays with you. A constant companion in the dark. A promise of safety. A promise of rest. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The morning is a lifetime away. The light is a myth. The world is a memory. There is only this, the soft, slow, rhythmic peace of the night, of the city, of the soul, drifting, drifting, drifting away into the long, quiet sleep. The streets are empty. The houses are dark. The river is silent. The gates are closed. The future is far, and the rest is near, so very near, just a breath away, just a heartbeat away, in the deep, soft velvet dark of the old city. May your dreams be of quiet lanes and gentle hazes, of cool courtyards and soft silk, of the slow pulse of a world that knew how to rest. You are part of that world now. You are part of the silence. You are part of the night. Sleep, sleep, sleep. The end of the day, the end of the work, the end of the thought, the beginning of the dream, the beginning of the rest, the beginning of the peace. Everything is as it should be. All is well. All is well. All is well. I can tell you more about the secret gardens of the sultans or the quiet lives of the Silk Road astronomers. Would you like me to describe the evening routine of a desert stargazer in the golden age of Samarkand? Whispers from the Silk Road. Stories that calm the mind. Continued. Hello guys, today we will know more about the city of Samarkand in the 10th century. As the desert stars continue their slow, silent rotation across the deep velvet sky, please let your heavy limbs sink further into the softness of your cushions. Let the weight of the day dissolve like salt in the river. We are returning to the quiet corridors of the Sogdian world, where the scent of cedar wood and dried jasmine lingers in the still air. This part of our journey is designed to pull you deeper into stillness, toward a place where the shadows are kind, and the world moves with the steady grace of a slow-turning wheel. The moon has climbed to its zenith now. It is a pale, luminous disk reflected in the still waters of a marble basin. The stone edge of the fountain is cool, retaining the memory of the mountain snows that feed the city's veins. The sound of a distant camel's bell is muffled by the heavy, dry air. Tink, damp, tink, damp. It is a rhythmic, tired sound. The sound of a caravan that has finally reached its destination and is content to rest. We walk past a row of small houses, their mud brick walls smooth and cool to the touch inside. The shadows of oil lamps rest on the floors, waiting for a dawn that feels a lifetime away. In the outskirts of the bazaar, the work of the night is slow and quiet. A master dyer sits by the dying warmth of his vats. He is a man of many years, His hands are stained with the deep indigo and madder root of his trade. He is folding a long strip of silk. His hands move in a slow circular motion, smooth and press, smooth and press. The flickering light of a single clay lamp casts his shadow against the brickwork, a large, swaying shape that moves with the rhythm of his hand. The air near the vats is warm and smells of fermented leaves and wet fabric. A cricket chirps in the rafters of the workshop, a tiny, sharp, persistent sound. It is the heartbeat of the oasis, marking the passage of the night. The dyer's head nods, his chin touching his chest, but he does not stop his work. He is part of the rhythm of the city. A silent weaver of color who creates while the princes sleep in their tiled palaces. The heat from the cooling vats is a gentle presence, a comfort in the cooling night air. Outside, the lanes are becoming a sanctuary of silence. We pass the entrance to a small garden where a traveler has left a leather water skin. It smells of damp hide and mountain water, a faint, cool memory of the high passes. The skin is sewn with thick gut. The leather is dark and supple. It sits on the stone bench, a hollow vessel in the moonlight. We look at it for a long time, letting its stillness become our own, letting our thoughts rest on the soft, dark surface. The forgotten caravanserai at the edge of the desert remains unchanged. The lamp in the common room burns with a steady, unwavering flame. The light is a golden hue, illuminating the heavy timber beams and the edge of a stone hearth. Everything is in its place. A copper tray of dates sits on the floor, the metal reflecting the light in tiny, bright sparks. But the fruit is dry, and the rooms are empty. The gate remains open to the wind, a passage between the world of the city and the world of the infinite. Near the Zarafshan River, the poplar trees are like great, sleeping sentinels, their silver leaves hanging down like quiet fingers touching the dark water. The scent of the river is stronger here. A mix of silt and reeds and wet earth. A ferryman sits in a small flat-bottomed boat. He has a small brazier of fruitwood warming on a flat stone inside his vessel. The fire crackles softly. A low, dry sound. He watches the water, watching the reflections of the stars as they rock in the slow current. The river is magnificent in its stillness. Its surface is like a sheet of dark glass. The reeds at the edge rustle in the breeze. A sound like a low, whispering sigh. It is the sound of the earth's blood resting. The water has come from the Pamir Mountains, through the hidden valleys, through the fields of flax. It brings the life of the peaks to the sands. But tonight, it only brings the silence of the flow. We listen to the ripple, 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 letting it lull us into a deeper rest. In the houses of the papermakers, the air is cooler. The families are huddled together on their felt mats, their warmth a shared commodity. A father wakes for a moment to adjust the wool wrap over his daughter's shoulders. He moves with the grace of a man who knows the value of a quiet house. He hears the wind in the poplar trees, a soft, persistent rustle, like dry paper turning in the dark. He breathes in the smell of the damp pulp and the old cedar, and he falls back into a dreamless sleep. The students of the madrasa, those who live within the brick walls, find shelter in the arched alcoves. They sleep on the cool stone, wrapped in single layers of quilted cotton. The fabric is soft from use. A thin shield against the night. They are like small statues in a forest of arches. They do not feel the hardness of the floor as much as they feel the stillness of the knowledge. The school is their mother, and the night is their blanket. They sleep with their heads resting on their books, small and silent in the dark. The stalls along the spice market are dark, but the brick pillars still stand tall. The carvings of geometric patterns watch the empty space. A sound of the wind through the shutters, the stall of the saffron merchant, the stall of the cumin seller, the stall of the almond trader. They are symbols of a world that is paused. The iron rings hanging from the walls are all still. 1,000 silent anchors. They are waiting for the dawn. But we are not waiting. We are only being. We find ourselves back at the abandoned caravanserai. The light from the small lamp seems to pull at the desert haze, creating a halo of gold around the mud brick. It is a beautiful sight, a glow in the center of the vastness. We wonder about the merchants who stayed there. Were they happy? Were they quiet? Did they like the sound of the desert wind? We do not need to know. Their story is part of the dust now, a ghost in the wind, a light in the dark. We let our minds rest on the cool, solid surface of the wall. The night is reaching its deepest point. The hour when the pulse is slowest. The hour when the mind is most peaceful. The desert is breathing. A low, constant sound that blends with the silence. The city is a world of texture. The rough brick, the smooth tile, the soft haze, the heavy felt. We feel these things in our mind, letting them anchor us to the present moment, to the here and the now. We are safe. We are still. We are at peace. In the great libraries of the viziers, the air is dry and smells of ink and old parchment. The rolls of paper are like small mountains in the dark. The silence there is heavy. It has a weight of its own. The wooden chests hold the history of the world. Sheltering the thoughts of the ancients, we imagine the silence of the words, and we let it fill our own hearts, letting our worries be as small as a single letter, lost in the vastness of the story. The Zarafshan River flows on. It does not care for the empires or their scrolls. It only knows the pull of the sea. It is a rhythmic, constant movement, a flow of liquid shadow. We stand on the bank and watch the swirls. They are like the patterns of a woven rug, moving and shifting in the dim light. The water is the earth's memory, carrying the day's dust out to the plains. We let our thoughts flow with it, away from the shore, away from the light, into the deep. The forgotten scroll is a beacon for the tired. It tells us that even in the desert, there is a word, even in the silence. There is a story. We do not need to open the chest. We do not need to find the writer. We only need to see the glow and know that the message is still there. The mystery is a comfort, a path that does not need to be traveled. It is a place for the mind to rest, a place for the soul to sleep. The jackal's voice is far away now, a ghost of a sound in the dunes. It is right. The world is at peace. The city is resting, and you are resting with it. The weight of the night is a gentle weight, a blanket of cedar and haze. It covers your eyes, It covers your thoughts. It covers your heart. You are becoming part of the brick, part of the shadow, part of the silence. As the narration begins to fade for the final time, let the words become only a vibration, a soft hum in the cool air. The city of Samarkand is a painting that is being washed away by the stars. The blue becomes gray. The gold becomes white. The dark becomes a dream. You are floating. You are sinking. You are falling into the long, quiet, beautiful sleep. The forgotten scroll is dark now. The oil has run out. The wick is cold. The lamp is extinguished. And the halls are still empty. But the morning is a promise that we do not need to keep yet. There is only the rest, the deep, restorative, endless rest, in the heart of the night, in the heart of the oasis, in the heart of the soul. Sleep now. The bells are silent. The haze is heavy. The world is gone. You are safe. You are warm. You are home. Sleep, 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 into the soft, dark velvet silence of the long ago and the now and the forever. Would you like to continue this journey through the quiet winter of a mountain village? Or perhaps listen to the soft sounds of a moonlit garden in old Samarkand?